Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today's class is going to be hopefully enjoyable for you. We're going to start by working on some wrist strengthening, and then we're going to use down dog as our base today. It's going to be some repetitions, some fun little movement stuff. Hopefully you'll be the judge of that. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to come into a sort of tabletop position, and we're going to work on strengthening the wrists. Put my block off to the side. So you want to have the shoulders placed over your wrists, and then the further away your knees are, the easier it is, the harder it is. The closer your knees are to your hands, the a little bit easier it is on your wrists. And your fingertips are facing forward, or definitely your index finger is facing directly in front of you. Externally rotate the shoulder blades so the eyes and the elbows are facing forward, and we're just going to come up onto that first knuckle and slowly lower back down. So there's 1, 2, nice and controlled. Inhale up, exhale down. 4, 5, 6. If you're finding it a little bit easy, start walking your knees away. 7. Try to keep them shoulders over the wrists. 8, 9, 10. Come back onto the toes, shake them out. We'll go for another 10. Know where you are. So just breathe and lift them hands up. Lower back down. 4, 5, 6, 7. You might find your forearms are starting to talk to you. 8, 9, 10. Come back, shake your wrists out. It's perfectly normal. If they are talking to you, embrace it and breathe. We'll go for 10 more. 10, 9, 8. Try to keep good form, so if you need to walk your knees a little bit closer, do so. 8, 9, 10. Lower back down. Again, come onto the toes, so we're just going to stretch out the bottom of the feet. We're going to work through some scapular push-ups, and then we'll get into some down dog foundational work. So do what you need to do to loosen up the wrists and come into a tabletop. So you can stay in your tabletop position. Externally rotate the shoulder blades so the eyes and elbows facing forward. Push into the index finger and the thumb. Keep your arms straight and just lower your chest through. Pull the shoulder blades onto your back and then push the ground away from you, doming the upper back. You don't want to be cat-cowing. You want to try to keep a nice straight spine. Shoulder blades together. Push away from you. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. If you begin to find this is also a little bit easy for you. 6, 7. You can come into high plank and do the same thing. 8, 9, 10. We're going to sit the hips up to the sky for downward facing dog and begin to walk your feet out. Now remember, you always have the option of dropping your knees, pausing the video if it gets a little bit too challenging for you. But if you feel like it's just a little bit of discomfort and you can get through it, do so, because that's what we're here for after all, to just build a little bit of strength in the body and enjoy some time away from the busy world we live in. So from here, once you come to stillness, stretch my ankle, come to stillness. From here we're just going to lower the knees just for the ground, push the ground away from you. Before they touch the ground, push through the toes, coming into the high plank. Keep coming forward, drop your chest down, low plank, push back up, high plank, back to that sort of turbo dog,
Sink the hips up to the sky, down dog. Again, I'll go through nice and slow. Knees slowly towards the ground, push the ground away from your extended spine, push through the feet coming forward, high plank, shift forward, lower down halfway, push back up into that turbo dog, hips up to the sky. That's 2, lower down, shift forward, low plank, high plank, turbo dog, down dog. That's 3. Move with your breath. Inhale as you come down to turbo dog. Inhale, high plank, low plank, high plank, turbo dog, down dog. Just move a little bit quicker, but try to keep that form. So we're utilizing this turbo dog to down dog, as some down dog squats at the same time. Just keep moving with your breath. Nice and fluid. I think this is 8. It's 9. Many of you are expecting me to say last one, but let's go for 5 more. So lower down, turbo dog, push forward, high plank, low plank, high plank, turbo dog, down dog. Keep moving, keep pushing the ground away from you. Keep smiling. Most importantly, like I said to you before, you always have the option of dropping your knees, pausing the video, holding yourself in down dog is even an option. Come through the full extent of plank, so push right up to the top before you shoot back to turbo dog. And here comes the last one. This time for real. Drop the knees, push forward, shift the weight lower down, elbows to ribs, push to the top, turbo dog, down dog. Feels nice, eh? Begin to walk out the feet. And then from here, we're sort of going to try and lift the left hand and the right foot at the same time. Spin on the left foot, right hand. Step the right foot next to the left. Place the left hand down behind you. Sink the hips up for reverse tabletop. Lower back down. Don't let the hips touch the ground. And then pick the left hand up and the right foot at the same time. Spin back round. And then come into downward facing dog. And then opposite side. So left foot, right hand, same time. Spin around. Lower the left foot next to the right. Right hand behind you. Push up. Reverse tabletop. Lower the feet down, the hips down. Lift up. Pivot round. Come up. Downward facing dog. Now, just move at your own pace. There's a little bit of freedom in this class. Don't judge yourself. Enjoy it. Move. If you don't place the feet and the hand down at the same time. It's not a problem. No one's watching. And it's the same but when you're picking them up. If they're not at the same time, no one's judging. You're just moving in your body. See, there it was. Left foot down before right hand. And you get to witness me. So, it's worse for me when I don't do it. Keep moving with breath. We'll go for one more on each side. Up to the sky. Lower down. Get around. Down dog. Pivot round. Downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank and then just lower down onto your forearms for forearm plank. You can have your hands clasped together if you choose. Or you can have your elbows under your shoulders and your hands directly out in front, half on, half off the mat. We're just going to chill out here in forearm plank. Begin to shake, it's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. We've put in a little bit of work already, so smile and breathe, embrace the shake. Zip up the midline, keep pushing the elbows into the ground. Lift the kneecaps up. 5 more breaths. Two. Last one. Sigh it out. Lower your knees to the ground. Begin to sink back onto your heels. Open up the knees so they're as wide as the mat. And we're just going to come into a nice child's pose. Extend the arms out in front of you and sink your chest to the ground. Push your hips to your heels. It's okay if they don't touch, mine don't. Place your forehead on the mat. You can come up onto your fingertips if you want to feel more of a stretch through the underside of your arms. And from here, we're just going to walk that left hand out just off the mat. And we're going to bring the right hand and stack it on top. And pushing in to the right hip, extending through the right hand. I feel a nice stretch all through the right hand side body. Breathe into that room you're creating. Come back to center. And we'll simply come over to the other side. Left hand on top of right hand. Sink that left hip down a little bit more. And you can even begin to lift your arm up, lower it back down. Creating room in the left side body. Come back to neutral. And we're just going to roll onto our backs. Bring the right foot on top of the left knee. So you've got a sort of triangle gap here between the legs. Reach through, right hand through, left hand to the outer edge. And we're just going to roll back onto our backs. Clasping the shin on the left side, and I like to flex both feet. It reminds me to protect the knee. You can have this as a passive hold, or you can really pull that left knee into your chest and push the right knee out at the same time. You keep flexing the feet, and you want to have your shoulders onto the mat to create a deeper stretch. Or just actively pulling the shoulders onto the mat. It's probably a better way of describing it. It's not always possible to get there. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, we're just simply going to switch the cross of the legs. Left foot on top of right knee. Flex both feet. Reach through with your left hand, round with your right hand. Pull the knees into the chest. Or you can just actively, passively hold and not worry about pushing too much. You've exerted enough energy today and you don't want to hear me talk anymore, and that's perfectly fine too. Come back, both feet down. You can extend your feet away from you and lie down for a few seconds, minutes, completely your choice. If you're like me, and as the channel suggests, you're only looking for a moment to move and haven't got the most amount of time, you can come back up to seated. And we'll close out this practice by just saying, thank you so much for joining me here. If you like the content that I'm providing, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment in the section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you and answer any questions that you do have. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the brief break, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.